Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Angela at Be Fabulous You, and I have got questions for you. What opens with Miss Nola declaring that she's going to have a cleanse? All kinds of cleanse. And what closes with Miss Nola being cleansed from Miss Opal's life? If you guessed, She's Gotta Have It, episode 4 of season 1, Love is Love, Sexuality is Fluid, then you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. Let us proceed. Okay, so we got Nola in bed. She in her bra and panties, or we can see the bra. I can't see the panties, but I wasn't looking at her. Okay, she doing a monologue. In these 4 episodes, this is not the first monologue we've seen Miss Nola do from her bed with the white picket fence headboard in the background. And she's talking about doing a radical cleanse. She's gonna have no social media, no weed, no alcohol, no men in her loving bed. But that doesn't mean she can't have women. I don't know what kind of this child, we were talking last episode about how immature and silly she is. She's so silly. But then we see Opal Gilstrap. She has a nursery, like a nursery, she grows plants and stuff like that, or sells plants. She met Nola there 2 years ago. We're hearing this from Opal's perspective. And things grew to a point of, where we going to be exclusive or not. And she said that Nola benched her. Opal says Nola benched her. Nola benched her. Nola darling. So it was like a slow fade, really. She just kind of ghosted her slowly. But suddenly, Opal says she's back in Nola's loving bed. And it is on and popping. But she got burned before. So she's not trying to catch no feelings. She's just riding the wave. Or Nola's face. Oh, she's riding the wave. I'm sorry. And then we see them sexing. That's when she's riding her face. I'm just joking. Was she riding? I don't know what they were doing. But anyway, they were sexing. Then we see, we find out that Nola's rent is late. So I guess my theory about Mr. Overstreet being her patron is not correct. Or he is sometime patron, sometime he half-time. She need a full-time patron. So she's going to be teaching. She has a teaching artist gig tomorrow. So we're real excited about that. And she's affirming money is coming, money is coming. I'm a fan of affirmations. So they are walking and talking, Opal and Nola. And Opal asks about the upcoming art show. Nola is talking about, things are going well. And she's naming portrait artists. Like she named probably 3 or 4 black portrait artists who I wasn't familiar with. And they showed their work. Everything happened so quick. I wanted to go back and look at it, but that's okay. It got into my subconscious. I ain't got to be studying the dang on show. I'm watching it for entertainment. But it is educational. But anyway, and she says, I'm doing a lot of portraits now. And, portraits are kind of like an old thing. But I'm trying to find a fresh new take on them. And, Opal invites Nola to her house. And Nola declines because she already has some commitments. And she says that she's really trying to keep her word. So I guess that lets us know that, again, Nola is kind of immature, or I don't want to say immature, but she's had some challenges, or, has a challenge with keeping her word. So that's something she's working on. And we applaud her. We applaud all of us who are working. We all got something we working on, at least something, probably more than one thing, right? We all working on something. So it's nothing wrong with, trying to mature and grow. We all trying to mature and grow. So she says she's already committed. She want to keep her word. So they end up kissing on the street. And then after the kissing, Nola is like, "You are so dope." And I'm kind of like, okay. Okay, she like it. I love it. She like her. I love her, I guess. I don't know. Then we see Nola with her therapist. And she's like, "I feel so safe with this woman. I'm totally digging her. I don't believe in labels, but as a pansexual, polyamorous woman," she might have said more stuff, but that's all I got. And the therapist is looking like, huh? And Nola is just going on and on. She's like gushing. You know, it's an instant family. She has this child. She's a horticulturalist. Isn't that wonderful? My parents would love her. And unlike those men that I had been dealing with, she's not trying to own me. You know, I needed all the tools that you gave me because I've been attacked on all sides. But with her, I don't have to fight. You know, it's just so wonderful. She's great. You know, she's just gushing. And the doctor is like, well, you know, that's great, you know. And, you know, she's like, that's cool. I'm glad, you know, whatever. Okay, so time's up. So how you going to pay, with cash or a check? And Nola's like, well, maybe a tab or barter. I see you have great taste in art. And the doctor is like, let me think about that. So this doctor, I don't think she's going to be around for long. Okay, so then we see Nola out. She at a party with her friend Terrell, and he introduces her to his parents. She on the dance floor. She's clearly drunk, tipsy. I don't drink, but she looks inebriated to me. And he's introducing her to his parents, and his parents are like, you know, oh, you're beautiful, and you know, he's claiming that she's his girlfriend, and she's like, I'm not his girlfriend, but we are close. And the father is like, you know, you work for the city, you know, forget this art school, fart school, artsy, whatever. Work for the city like me, son, and you could afford to have a retirement party like this. It's his retirement party, the dad's retirement party. And then Nola asked the mother, well, how did you know that, you know, this was the guy, and that Terrell's daddy was the man for you, Terrell's mommy? And Terrell's mommy is like, oh, I knew immediately, or whatever. It was instant. And then we see a drunk Nola outside of the party, and she's confronting Terrell. And she's like, you know, yeah, I'm drinking. So what? I start a job tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I'm on a cleanse. It's just a day job. It doesn't matter if I'm going to be late to it or whatever. You have to escape your parents. At least they know you're an artist, but I can't believe you lied and said I was your girlfriend. Mr. Fiance, because he's out there with a racially ambiguous guy, a white guy or whatever. Tell your man to come out to his parents. And Terrell is like, you know, oh, being worse than being an artist is being a body boy. They disown me if I survive. You know, you're too greedy. You got 3 men and a woman. You can't stick to one thing for long. And then, you know, Nola, we see her stumbling down the street and, you know, drunk. And she's like, hey, Papo. And she greets the mayor. And then she gets upstairs and she realizes that she don't have her keys. She's locked out. And then she calls the landlord, and, you know, she's like, hey, you know, we found out the landlord is her godmother. And she gets her voicemail, and then she stumbles down to the ground floor and rings the buzzer and bangs the window out. And then out comes the white neighbor fussing at the mayor about his loud music and his stinky art, and threatening to call the cops. And then the mayor notices Nola. I guess I noticed him before, but he's just noticing Nola. And he like, what you doing out here? And Nola is like, I'm locked out. I'm going to go to my parents' house. And then the mayor is like, okay, I'll walk with you. He's concerned about her safety out here drunk, stumbling down the street. And then we catch him mid-conversation. He like, you know, I couldn't pay my rent. I couldn't pay my child support. And then the next thing you know, I was butt out. You know, you still making them pieces. You know, I'll be here until you go in. So he, you know, they chit-chat and they talk about art. And then she goes upstairs, and then Nola's like, you know, I'm an adult, you know, standing on her parents' stoop. You know, I don't want to wake my parents up. Hey, I love this piece here. How much? She's looking at Papo's art, at the mayor's art. And he's like, I'm not going to sell it to you. She's like, how much you got to sell your art? He's like, $20. She's like, okay, I only got 10. I'll owe you 10. And then you were the best artist in our school. And then we see Nola wandering the streets, and she's calling Mecca, and Mecca picks up. And then we cut to Mecca in her... Oh, maybe Mecca didn't pick up, but we cut to Mecca in her mirror with a group, and they're practicing choreography. I guess at the hot to trot, the hot and tot, the hot and trot. And, you know, I don't know if she got the butt surgery or not, but the boss of the hot and trot comes in, and he's fussing about the money. Y'all didn't make no money. You got to make money. No money made. I'm going to throw you out in the cold. You know it's cold out there, and I don't have no favorites. And I'm going to be sitting in the front with this next number with my scissors, and I'm cutting somebody, and you better be making some money. Make some money. So, you know, she under pressure. Mecca can't help her, don't help her, whatever. Then we see Noah calling Chloe. Is that the friend who was her roommate who moved out? I don't have a name in my head. Shemeka, I got it. Mecca. And then Chloe picks up and she's, and she's having sex. And Nola is like, oh, I'm locked out, but you're having sex. And Chloe is like, call one of your dicks. And then Nola is like, I'm not dealing with men, but Chloe is already hung up on her. And then we see the door ringing at Opal's, and Nova ends up spending the night. And then the next morning, she's reconnecting with Opal's daughter, Skylar. And Skylar is like, are you my mommy's new girlfriend? She only lets people stay over if it's serious. And then Opal is going running, and Skylar and Nola are cooking, and Nola and Opal, we see Nola and Opal on the street, and they're giggling. And then Greer comes up, and Opal kind of asserts herself, like stands between Nola and Greer. And then Opal kind of ends up excusing herself. And then after Nola and Greer talk, Greer leaves because Greer is like, well, you know, come have some sex or whatever he said. And then Opal is like, I felt like you were ashamed of me. You know, you don't want to be seen with a woman by one of your men. You know, I'm gay and you trying to stuff on. You know, I can't hide who I am. And then Nola's like, well, I like to keep my loving bed private. And then we see Nola busting into a classroom, and she's, you know, it's like classes in session. It's little kids, like 12-year-olds, and she's all interrupting and loud and boisterous. Hi, I'm Nola. You must be Miss Nakalaka Ross. I don't know what her name is, but she said it about 12 times, and it was funny. Nakalaka Ross. And she says, yes, and I was on time, and you are 16 minutes late. How very artistic of you, but with love, compassion, and discipline. And all the children say it with her. You know, we expect success, you know, and then, so we'll let you come in since, you know, the student studies show that art is good for the children. So you got your lesson plan, and Nola had been talking about going to get her lesson plan, but she never got her lesson plan. So you know, the Nakalaka Ross is like, you know, so don't be tardy no more. And then Rakalaka Moss out. I don't know why I can't get the woman's name, but she out, and, you know, she leaves Nola with the kids, and Nola is like, oh, who needs a lesson plan? And she gets off to a rocky start, but then we see Nola with her mom, s1e4, and she's excited about her experience with the children and in the class, and her mama ties the keys around Nola's neck. So it's like Nola approaches the landlord, and we find out that this is the third key that Nola has lost this month or something. What child? Immature. And the rent is 2 or 3 months behind, and you know, Nola is like, oh, Miss Ella, I will get you your rent as soon as I get my teaching check, I promise. And then we hear Nola talking to Ochan, and we see her arting, goes to Ma, opens letter. Oh, Oshun. Nola is like praying. She's talking to Oshun and asking for blessings and abundance. I don't, you know, but she was talking to Oshun, y'all. She's talking to Oshun. And then she's arting, and then something tells her to go to the mail. I don't know what, because it seemed like when your mail come, you look at it and open it. But she opens the letter, and she's excited. She's like, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And then Nola opens, and we see Nola at Opal's door, and whatever music is playing, I wrote down, that's my jam. I think it's the woman whose name I have such a hard time. Michelle Indegelo is one of her songs, which I used to love. And then she's like, oh, Nola getting to the door. She's like, I started painting and I lost track of time. You know, she had promised Skylar, I might not have told you, but she had promised Skylar that she was going to come back when the child was up at night so they could kick it and hang out, because the child really liked her. But she got caught up, Nola got caught up in her art, and so she's late. So she's like, so is Skylar up? And her mom is like, Opal, Skylar's mom is like, no, Skylar is asleep now. She did make you some vegan cookies because Skylar is a vegan. And Nola's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was late to class too. Colored people time, CPT. Opal, I want to try committing to you. And Opal was like, I was your age when I had Skylar, but I was sure I wanted to be a mom. You are not sure of anything. Do not make promises to me that we know you can't keep. And then Nola is like, I made it to round 2 of the Catlet Prize today. Can you give this artwork to Skylar? Can you come see the group show? And Opal is like, I don't know if I'm gonna come see your group show, because she got a little her feelings hurt. She knew who she was dealing with, but she got a little involved with Nola, so she don't know if she can come to the art show. But she's gonna give the artwork to Skylar and we can be friends, but she doesn't know about anything else. Good night. And then Nola goes in for a kiss, but Opal is not receptive. And that's the end of the episode. So, love is love. Thank you so much for sharing, watching, commenting, subscribing. Are you watching the series? Did you binge watch everything all at once? I'm reviewing them as I go, so I don't know what's coming. But I did watch Bondi Blue, her like weekly news story show type thing, and she was talking about this show, She's Gotta Have It, and she basically talked about the whole series. So you know, I kind of have some sense of where it's going for the series, but she didn't give a detailed recap because it was part of her whole news story. But that's what I got. Today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. You are #1. You're the #1 stunner. You're the #1 you. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. We're working on 200 subscribers. Are you a subscriber? Subscribe. Or if you are a subscriber, thank you for being a charter subscriber. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Y'all see Bella over there? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. She the video vixen. Bye.